Guess what we're doing today, guys? Dipping fish. Just kidding. I dip fish every day. Blake, we dip fish every day?
Hell yeah, we dip fish every day.
We dip fish every day. So rather than talk about how we're dipping more fish, we're gonna talk about how I went from being a painter to running a reef store. Let's get to it. First, I'm gonna dip these fish. So, I've always been on a 1099. I knew I wanted to be my own boss, even as a kid. It was because I was self-motivated, but I didn't like being told what to do. I could do the job better myself. The original plan was going to be to breed clownfish and sell them online. Clownfish are really easy to breed, but the fry are a little bit harder to raise. There's people that do way better than I do, so I let them do that. Kept keeping tanks over the years to refine my skills. Eventually I felt comfortable with saying, let's try to do maintenance, let's try to do a store. I started the business. We didn't do anything with it because Vivian got pregnant. We had to make sure we were prepared. So the business kind of was established, but it just sat there for like a year and a half. Then once our Senyo was almost here, I decided we're gonna go ahead and try this thing. And at first I was just in my garage. I started doing stuff with the business. I started buying things. I started getting colonies. I started setting up tanks. It was in the garage at first. I just had a couple tanks with some soft corals and a couple of LPS. Nothing crazy. I had to have a couple local reefers come purchase. And I knew that I wanted to be legit. I didn't want to be not a licensed business doing it, you know? I wanted to be able to report my income. I wanted to be able to use this to build something to leave behind for my kid, even if he don't want it. It's kind of my thought behind it. So I started telling the local reef store, Western Slope Aquatics, we can give them a shout out. I started telling them how I had the business established. She said she would love to show some support. She asked me if I would be interested in doing maintenance. And I had never done maintenance before, so I asked her if she thought I would be good for doing that. Her words exactly were, just do what you do with your tanks for your customers. And so that's what I do. Go in and I treat them just like I would treat my own. She recommended me to my first client. They have 2 tanks, and that allowed me to build revenue for the business. And once I had revenue in the business coming in, I could start focusing more on this business and less on the painting business, which was really, really hard because I don't know how to say no to a good patient. If you do a good job, then people are going to recommend you, right? Within maybe 4 months, we went from the 1 client with 2 tanks to servicing 11 tanks. Gone down to, well, actually 10, I just picked one up. So we do 10 tanks right now. And then we run the store. So the maintenance was able to get me a little bit of revenue, and I needed to get more revenue. I needed to be able to match what I was making as a painter before I could let go of the painting because we had the baby coming. The baby comes, new dad, painter, maintenance man, all 3 in 1. I had spoke to a business coach, and he told me that I need to pick one and go. Before that, I seen a quote, a man who chases 2 birds catches neither, and that stuck out to me. And so it was just all these signs telling me I need to pick one direction and stick to it. And I knew what direction I wanted, a no-brainer, you know. I decided to quit painting. I took a pay cut, big pay cut. I guess before that I should backtrack a little bit. Backtrack back to what I'm saying. I needed to create more revenue before I quit painting. There's 2 other stores here in town, so how can I compete with people that are already established? what are they lacking? What can I do that they don't do? And that's when I came across quarantine fish. I could be lying here, but like almost nobody quarantines their fish. If your LFS quarantines fish, you're pretty lucky. I decided I'm going to try to start learning how to quarantine fish. I had a challenge with fish. I would set up tanks, get fish in there. Some fish would die, the survivors, we would leave them, never add fish again. I really challenged myself. We burned through some money, we burned through some fish. We had some stressful days where I was really angry. We did a lot of fish that were unfortunately just destined for failure, you know. When you're learning, it's a learning curve. So we got better, and we got better, and we got better, and eventually it was to the point, after about 3 or 4 rounds of quarantining fish, it went from losing 90% of the fish to losing 3% of the fish. So we decided to offer that as a service to first only just our maintenance clients, but then I started advertising it a little bit, realized that a lot of the locals actually do want that. That was a game changer for me. That allowed me to get into this space, and it allowed me to quit painting. If it wasn't for quarantine fish, I don't think I would have been able to quit painting. Honestly, sometimes I feel like I need to go back and paint a couple houses. But and if you watch this long, I would like to know, maybe you could put it down in the comments, for our next video, should we do a P&W micro mini tank, a 1-gallon tank, or should we get some copper bands in here and try to get them to eat frozen foods? If you want us to get copper bands to eat mysis in the next video, comment mysis below. And if you want us to do a P&W customs tank in the next video, a micro mini tank, 1-gallon tank, comment P&W down below. Whichever one gets more comments will be the next video. Please participate. Peace.